security. Not too late.
Yeah. Neue Antifa, what do they say? Neue nasty trolls every day. Infant fart squad, bring the play. Light the match.
Yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel, Grey Pill, where we dive headfirst into the wildest, weirdest, and most talked about content on the internet.
Streetwear ninja dressed in black. Bike helmet tight, but logic's whack. Talk big game with a shaky frame. Wi-Fi gone now, who's the...
If you're new here, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notifications so you never miss a reaction. Alright, enough talk. Let's get into it. I'm sure most of you saw what happened at the ICE facilities. Here's a reminder. Some people in power think they are above the law and can try to push themselves into any place they want. Then they will come and cry at the news that they are the victims.
And now what DHS is trying to say, again, they're using public intimidation because they know that they cannot come for us all. They know that they cannot come for us all. And recently what they said is that DHS is allegedly looking into arresting members of Congress.
Generally, members of Congress can appear in most public spaces without needing permission or special entry, as long as their actions are not illegal or disruptive. However, there are exceptions, such as federal facilities that have specific security protocols or are being used for official government business. That means they can't just show up at ICE facilities and try to force their way in. I thought you were the one who said no one is above the law.
No one is above the law.
No one's above the law.
No one is above the law.
No man is above the law.
He has to be held accountable. He's not above the law.
So if no one is above the law, everyone involved should have been arrested. But when you say no one is above the law, you only mean the other side. You are the same party that opposes the Parents' Bill of Rights. Like Nazi Germany, Fascist Italy, the Soviet and China, where parents have no right to know or object to what their children are learning in a government school.
Extreme MAGA Republicans don't want your child to learn about the LGBTQ plus experience in America.
How dare you give parents the ability to object that we will turn their children into what we want? That's what he's basically saying. I'm willing to bet he'd be against teaching children the Christian experience of life in America.
The House of Representatives passed the Parents' Bill of Rights Act. The bill, which was sponsored by Representative Julia Letlow, passed in a 213 to 208 vote with no Democratic support. Liberal firebrand, Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, blasted Republicans, saying people wanted the party to keep culture wars out of the classroom.
Our children need urgent and aggressive educational solutions. When we talk about progressive values, I can say what my progressive value is, and that is freedom over fascism.
When you say freedom, you don't mean the freedom of parents to raise their children however they want. You mean your freedom to indoctrinate other people's children. That's exactly what Mao did in China, Stalin did in Russia, and Hitler did in Nazi Germany.
Forcing poor and working class people to give birth against their will.
What did you say?
Against their consent.
According to a Guttmacher Institute study, the top reasons women gave for having an abortion included 74% having a baby would interfere with education, work, or ability to care for dependents. 73% cannot afford a baby now. 48% don't want to be a single mother or having relationship problems. 38% done having children. According to the CDC and Guttmacher, 60% of abortion patients are in their 20s. Ages 20 to 24, 34%. Ages 25 to 29, 27%. 12% are teens, under 20. 28% are 30 and older. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, in 2022, approximately 12.3% of reported abortions in the United States were obtained by married women, while 87.7% were obtained by unmarried women. So where are all the poor families who will have to have children?
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God.
Let's continue.
Today, President Trump signed the first piece of legislation into law for his second term. The Laken Riley Act is named after 22-year-old Laken Riley, a Georgia nursing student who was killed last February. Jose Ibarra was convicted and sentenced to life without the possibility of parole for her murder. He was in the country illegally when he attacked and killed Riley. Under the new law, federal officials are required to detain and potentially deport any immigrant arrested or charged with crimes like theft and assault.
So Trump signed a law that requires illegal people who commit crimes to be arrested and thrown out of the country. I thought it was a natural thing. You are a criminal who is not a citizen of the country. You are thrown out of the country. This exists in every country in the world that is not ruled by Democrats. Democrats are the only ones in the world who think protecting criminals is more important than the lives of their citizens.
Laken Riley was, by all accounts, a remarkable young woman whose life was tragically cut short by a horrific act that should be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. My heart goes out to her family and loved ones who grieve her death. And I understand, as a mother myself, fully why, in the face of such senseless violence, especially against someone so young, there is an urge to do something, anything, to feel like you are actually helping to fix the problem. Unfortunately, this bill does nothing to fix the immigration system or to prevent future tragedies like this. What?
Let's see. If this law had existed before she was murdered, the scumbag who murdered her would have been thrown out of the country before the murder. But you're saying it wouldn't have stopped the murder? Like I said, Democrats defend crimes and against citizens. I'm not surprised that a supporter of terrorism is against throwing illegal criminals out of the country. All of this is so she can shout against throwing illegal terrorists out of the country as well. When this is who is attracted to your party, it shows that you are a party of criminals and terrorists.
Damn!
Now let's continue with the two-faced left.
If you commit an act of horrific violence in the name of the President of the United States, that president will make sure that you get away with it.
On his way out of the White House, President Joe Biden shielding his family from future prosecution, issuing preemptive pardons to his brothers, his sister, and their spouses.
That is fundamentally un-American, and it makes this country less safe.
Look, spare me your comparisons of Biden pardoning his family and Trump pardoning violent criminals that attack police officers.
President Biden facing pushback from both sides after commuting the sentence of a former Pennsylvania judge, Michael Conahan, who was at the center of the Kids for Cash scandal and convicted of being paid off to lock up juveniles. The move upsetting...
What? You can be against both of those actions, but they're not the same, and they shouldn't even be mentioned in the same conversation.
You are right. What Biden did was much worse. Biden freed a judge who put minors in jail for money, and one of those minors took his own life in jail. I am not surprised that most of your party does not find anything wrong with it or is not interested in talking about it.
Start with January 6th. I was here in the Senate that day.
Did you see the police move the barriers to let the protesters in? If not, this is the video for you. How the police intentionally let them in so you could blame Trump.
From timcast.com, New Mexico man acquitted of charges related to January 6th. The federal defense contractor is the first person to be found not guilty of all charges filed against him in connection to the Capitol security breach. Matthew Martin, a federal defense contractor, was acquitted on April 6 following a 2-day bench trial. Martin had...
Let's not forget that you guys have hidden all the security camera footage up until now. And AOC said she hid under the desk and heard. Where is she? Even though she wasn't in the same building, and she wrote that an hour before they entered the building. And she is the Democrats' hope? If lying had an Olympics category, the Democrats would win all the time. Show me who you vote for, I will know who you are. This is the party that is against God, for criminals, allergic to the truth, but cries all the time. Phew, Okay, that was wild. What did you guys think? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear it all. If you enjoyed the reaction, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the bell icon so you never miss the next one. Got something you want me to react to next? Let me know down below or DM me on Instagram, Twitter, etc. I'm always looking for the next mind-blowing clip. If you want to help, I would be happy if you bought a song, a t-shirt, sticker, etc. The link is below. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. And remember, the left on TikTok exists to make you realize you are geniuses. Peace.
Back to your juice and bubble baths here. DJ my mouth. Yeah. Roast